सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। So children, welcome back to our Bhagavad Gita class. Nice to see you, all of you with bright smiling faces. Now, I have to tell you that Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. You know that, right? And Mahabharata has lakhs and lakhs of stories. Okay? It is like a big forest. It's like a big forest with lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of trees. But Bhagavad Gita is one of the most sacred trees in the forest of Mahabharata. Therefore, we have chosen to study Bhagavad Gita. And what is Bhagavad Gita? Lord Krishna's teaching to Arjuna as to how to live one's life, how to face everyday situations in our lives when we have confusion and when we have sadness. So, what I want to tell you is all the stories of Mahabharata, they are not very important for us when we have chosen Bhagavad Gita as the most important of them. So, now when you are studying history, then you have lot of stories which are told by your teachers, correct? Whereas when you study science, when your teacher teaches you science, mathematics, geography, then there cannot be many stories there, isn't it? We have to come to the subject, correct? We have to come to the subject there. Therefore, here also, up till the first chapter, we had lot of stories in Mahabharata, but now we have completed the first chapter, and from now we'll be going to the second chapter. And in second chapter, actually Bhagwan Krishna starts his teaching. Like your teacher teaches you mathematics or geography or science, first gives you introduction, correct? And then starts the teaching. And once the subject starts seriously, then we don't give much importance to all the stories, because the stories do not have much of a connection with whatever we are studying now. So with first chapter itself, we have completed most of the stories associated with Mahabharata in connection with Bhagavad Gita. And when we ended the first chapter, what happened? We found that Arjuna was in great confusion. He did not know what to do. He did not know what not to do. And Arjuna is a great warrior. He is a great soldier, a person who's very bold. Even gods have recognized his boldness and valor. He has got all his very, very nice ayudhas, very, very heavenly and very, very precious ayudhas from various gods like Indra and also from Shiva. Such a person like Arjuna suddenly finds that he cannot do his job, his duty. What is Arjuna's duty? Arjuna's duty is to fight a war where he has to protect the society from adharma. And this yuddha is called as a war of dharma, dharma yuddha. Therefore, here, this war is not fought by the Pandavas for the sake of simply killing somebody. No. The Pandavas are doing their duty because in this war they are trying to destroy the Kauravas, who are very, very adharmic people. What is the meaning of dharma? Dharma means to live in this society in such a way that everybody around you is happy. You cooperate with other people. You don't harm other people. You don't try to steal from other people. You try to speak the truth as much as possible. All this means you are living a life of dharma. Whereas what did Kauravas do? They were all the time telling lies. They were all the time trying to kill other people. They were always trying to harm other people. They were trying to steal from other people. So the Kauravas were adharmic. Adharmic means what? They were not living the way a person has to live as God has wished us to live. God wants us to live a life of dharma, as I told you just now. But then, since the Kauravas didn't do that, the Pandavas were forced to fight. And this is not really a bad thing. When we have to fight for our rights, when we are wronged by somebody, when somebody by adharma tries to cheat us and bluff to us and steal our things, we have every right to defend ourselves and also every right to fight for what is ours, what is actually is. Therefore, that is what Pandavas are doing. And this war is therefore called as dharma-yuddha. And it is happening in a very, very sacred place called as Kurukshetra. Now, we have finished the first chapter where Arjuna was scared. Number one, scared to fight. He started showing all signs of fear. You all have seen that, no? When you're scared, what happens? Suddenly your memory becomes blank. Your hands start shivering. You start sweating. Your mouth starts becoming dry. You cannot think. That is what happened. So Arjuna was actually suffering from what? Confusion, sadness, fear, only because of what? Because he saw all his favorite people in front of him, people whom he loved so much. And he felt, my God, in this war, they're all going to get killed. And these are the people who I respect so much, who I love so much. How can I allow these people to get killed? How can I see these people suffering and dying? How can I see the entire society suffering the ill effects of a war? Therefore, he said, Krishna, I cannot fight. And he left all his ayudhas and sat in the ratha. And then the second chapter starts with Bhagavan or Krishna motivating Arjuna. He first motivates Arjuna. Now, here in the second chapter, Lord Krishna starts speaking. And whenever Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita, it is reported as Shri Bhagavan-uvacha. So Bhagavan spoke. Now, why is Lord Krishna called as Bhagavan? There is a meaning for Bhagavan. What is the meaning of Bhagavan? Bhagavan means a person who has unlimited glories and richness. Such person is a Bhagavan. It is said that Bhagavan, Krishna or Ishvara or God is called Bhagavan. Why? Because God has unlimited glories. God has unlimited good things in him. Therefore, all the knowledge of the world God has. Therefore, Bhagavan is called as Jnanavan. We have little bit of knowledge, but all knowledge is Bhagavan's. Bhagavan has every bit of knowledge in this Jagat. Whatever is there, Bhagavan has that knowledge. So he is excellent. Every knowledge, he is full of knowledge. There is nothing that Bhagavan does not know. Therefore, he is called as Sarvagnya. Sarvagnya means what? The one who has all the knowledge. He is a Sarvagnya. Then it is said, he is the most powerful. God is most powerful. We all have little bit of power, but God is most powerful. Why? Because he is running this whole cosmos. How he is running? so many millions of galaxies, millions of planets, so many suns are there, seasons are coming, such huge things he has to manage, no? The whole cosmos, the whole world. If God has to manage, what should be his power? So God is the most powerful. God is the most intelligent. He has all the knowledge. So he is called as a jnanavan, sampurna jnanam, full all knowledge is there. All power is Bhagwan's power. And then all the resources, all the richness, everything that is there in this jagat belongs to Bhagwan. So Bhagwan is fully resourceful. He owns everything. Therefore, Bhagwan has all the wealth of this universe. In the form of what? In the form of the forest wealth, in the form of water wealth, in the form of tree wealth, in the form of all the underground wealth, in the form of all metal wealth. This whole, all the wealth that is there in this whole world belongs to Bhagavan. At the same time, Bhagavan is not influenced by any of these things. Therefore, he has no sense of this belongs to me, this belongs to me. He does not have such kind of a feeling. Therefore, though Bhagwan has all the glories, Bhagwan has everything in full measure. No one of us, we all have little bit of money, little bit of power, little bit of yashas, little bit of everything. But Bhagwan has everything in full measure, whether it's knowledge, whether it is power, whether it is fame, whether it is wealth. Okay? And in spite of all this, Bhagwan is not proud. Bhagwan does not have the feeling that this is mine. He does not feel that. If we have little bit more, what do we say? Oh, I am so intelligent. I feel proud of my intelligence, correct? But Bhagwan does not have that feeling because everything is his. Therefore, since God and Lord Krishna here is God in Bhagavad Gita, since God has all the best things, everything in the world is there in him in full quantity, not in little quantity like us, correct? Therefore, God is called as Bhagavan, the one who has got bhagas. What is bhaga? Excellence. Bhaga means what? Glories. Bhaga means what? Shine. So Bhagwan has got all this. He shines with all the glory. That's why he is called as Bhagavan. And when Krishna saw Arjuna in this pitiable state, first Lord Krishna did not start teaching him. First, Lord Krishna as Bhagwan tried to motivate Arjuna. Like supposing, you are afraid at the time of examination, you don't know what to write. What will your teacher tell you? Ye Nagalapa, don't worry. Everything will be fine. You'll be able to write. Relax. You are a good boy. You are an intelligent boy. You have studied very well. So don't worry. You will do the exam very well. Like this, he will give you confidence first. He will give you motivation first. So when Arjuna was down, no confidence, he had lost confidence, he was scared, he was confused, he was sad. In this case, what did Bhagwan do? He did not start teaching him Bhagavad Gita. Still, he started motivating Arjuna. Hey, get up, fight, nothing will happen. Like supposing you go to your friend, or your brother or your sister, elder brother, sister, parents, what will they say? They will not scold you. They will not tell you do this. They'll just say, don't worry. Everything will be all right. Everything will be fine. You will do very well. Get up. Okay, like that. Now, Bhagwan, Krishna, wants to become a motivator to Arjuna. And then in the second verse of the second chapter, Atha Dvitiyodhyayaha, this second chapter is called as Sankhya Yoga. What is the meaning of Sankhya? The meaning of Sankhya is teaching. Teaching of Krishna begins in this chapter. And what Krishna teaches him? He teaches what is given in our scriptures, in our Vedas. So whatever teaching is given by our Vedas is called as Sankhya. And that is what Krishna is giving to Arjuna. Therefore, the second chapter is called as Sankhya Yoga. But first, in the second verse of the second chapter, what is Krishna doing? He is asking Arjuna, kutastvā kaśhmalamidaṁ viṣhame samupasthitam anārya-juṣhṭamaswargyam akīrti-karam arjuna. Hey Arjuna, what has happened to you? You are a noble person. You are born in a noble family. You are an Arya Purusha. Arya means what? A noble person. You are a very, very powerful person. You are a valorous soldier. And it seems many people, when many other people who were fighting wars, they used to meditate upon Arjuna before they started their war. Even later after Mahabharata also. It seems Arjuna was so well known that there were 10 names of Arjuna. And people who were fighting any war, before they started war, they would close their eyes and chant the names of Arjuna to get that kind of a power and valor of Arjuna. He was so famous, Arjuna, so well known for his powerful arms. That is why Krishna calls him Mahabaho, powerful strength. With strength, he had those powerful arms which carried very powerful weapons like the Gandiva, Pashupatastra, etc. But then Krishna says, hey Arjuna, you are an Arya, you are a noble person, you are a very powerful person. Kutastvā kaśhmalamidaṁ. Suddenly what happened to you? How come your mind has become so suddenly not capable of thinking? Kutastvā kaśhmalamidaṁ is what has happened to you here. Why are you not able to think clearly? What is that impurity in your mind which is making you like this? And that too, viṣhame samupasthitam. In such a situation like war, in war, you should not be thinking like this. Like you people, if you have a match to play, if you are a part of a team, and you are ready and waiting for the match, and the whistle is blown by the referee, you suddenly start developing cold feet and say, no, I don't want to play, I don't want to play, I go out, I'm scared. Is that the time to get scared? No. So, Krishna is telling, in such a situation where you need to show a lot of strength, a lot of courage, hey Arjuna, why are you showing such weakness of your mind? Why is your mind not able to think like this? It does not suit you, Arjuna. Anārya-juṣhṭam, he says. It does not suit an Arya Purusha like you. It does not suit a very valorous and very, very powerful person like you. And in the next verse he says, klaibyaṁ māsmagamaḥ pārtha naitat tvayyupapadyate kṣhudraṁ hṛidaya-daurbalyaṁ tyaktvottiṣhṭha parantapa. See the words he is using for Arjuna. Hey Parantapa, he calls him. Krishna calls Arjuna as Parantapa. Hey Parantapa, get up, he says. Why does he call Arjuna Parantapa? What is the meaning of Parantapa? A soldier, a fighter who can literally scorch the enemies. He's called as Parantapa. So Arjuna can scorch, literally burn, literally kill hundreds of enemies in one go. Therefore, Krishna wants to give him this word of encouragement. And he says, hey Arjuna, you are the very scorcher of enemies. But then suddenly, what kind of this chicken-heartedness you have developed? Why have you become so chicken-hearted? kṣhudraṁ hṛidaya-daurbalyaṁ. Why your heart is showing such a very, very, very lowly kind of a weakness here, daurbalyaṁ. And it does not suit you, Arjuna. It does not speak of you. And you are not behaving like a soldier here. You are behaving a very, very chicken-hearted person. And therefore, Arjuna, get up. Uttishta. Uttishta means what? Get up first. Because to fight, you have to get up. No, what is Arjuna doing now? He is sitting. He has kept all his astras and shastras away and he's sitting there in the ratha. So he's saying, get up. First, you want to do something, you have to get up, no? If you run away from your playground when you have to play a match and come back and sit on the bench, what will your coach tell you? What will your captain tell you? Get up, get up, get up, come, get up. Let us go. So first you have to get up, then only you can start fighting. You can't be fighting when you're sitting, correct? So Krishna tells him, don't show this kind of a weakness here, Arjuna. It does not speak good of you. It is showing this weakness in your heart. Why are you feeling like this? Please get up. And then, even then, Arjuna starts again expressing his diffidence. Diffidence means what? No confidence. He says, no, Krishna, I cannot fight. I cannot kill my elders. I would rather go to the forest and become a sannyasi, he says. I don't want to do any of these things. I can't do this. I know this is my job, but I can't do this. I will go away. I will just leave the battlefield, go and become a sannyasi and live on begging alms. I will go house to house and say, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi, and I will live on that alms. That is better than killing. See here, it is not the duty of a kshatriya, no, to run away and live as a sannyasi. It is not a kshatriya's duty. But then he forgets his duty. Arjuna is forgetting his duty. And suddenly he understands, Arjuna understands that he is helpless. Helpless means what? Yen madod gottilla. I don't know what to do. How to face this situation. I want to do something, but I cannot do it. I have to fight, but I'm not able to fight. I have to have the courage and confidence, but what I'm having is fear. I'm having this kind of a sadness, sorrow, fear, confusion. And at this time, I'm thinking of all these enemies as my people, my people. What is right? What is wrong? What should be done? What should not be done? I don't know. So I am helpless. So children, when you are helpless, what do? When you don't know what to do, what will you do? You will go to either your elder brother or sister, or you'll go to your parents, mother or father, or you'll go to some elderly person in your family like the grandfather or uncle, or you will go to your teacher, or you'll go to one of your senior friends in the school or in the hostel, and then you ask for help, isn't it? So when we are helpless and when we don't know what to do, what is the most intelligent thing to do, children? You have to ask for help. Okay? When I am helpless, when you are helpless, helpless means what? When you are confused, when you don't know what to do, what do? You have to ask for guidance from somebody. And what does Arjuna do? Arjuna knows. What does Arjuna know? Arjuna knows that Krishna is not merely his friend. He knows that Lord Krishna is Bhagavan himself. He knows that he's not simply the person who is standing here like me, this Krishna. He's not a mere human being. He is a much more powerful, much more exalted, much more divine, much more heavenly, much more godly person. Therefore, Arjuna had chosen Krishna to be on his side during war. He did not choose Krishna's army, correct? He did not want Krishna's army. He wanted only Krishna. Why? Because he knew that wherever Krishna is there, there will be dharma there. Wherever Krishna is there, there will be victory there. Therefore, he knew that. Therefore, what did he do? He chose Krishna to be on his side in the Mahabharata battle. Now, in his confusion, who else is there next to Arjuna? His brothers are all there behind, waiting to start the fight. And with him, right now, who is there? Only Lord Krishna as his Sarathi sitting there next to him. And Arjuna knows that Lord Krishna can guide him in any situation. Why? Because all these years, Lord Krishna has guided the Pandavas in the worst possible situations also. When the Pandavas were in trouble, It is Lord Krishna who has helped them, who has guided them, who has told them how to go about it, saved them from all problems. So now Arjuna wants to be saved. Arjuna wants to be guided. Arjuna wants to know what is to be done. And where can he get the advice? The best person to give him the advice is none other than Lord Krishna. So now what does Arjuna do? He surrenders to Krishna. And what does he say? kārpaṇya-doṣhopahata-svabhāvaḥ. Seventh verse. See the seventh verse. kārpaṇya-doṣhopahata-svabhāvaḥ. पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म-sammūḍha-chetāḥ. yach-chhreyaḥ syānniśhchitaṁ brūhi tanme. śhiṣhyaste shādhi-māṁ tvaṁ prapannam. No, what he says is, Arjuna says that, hey Krishna, I am completely overcome by helplessness. I am completely overcome by confusion, sorrow, sadness, some kind of a fear. Sadness is what? Some kind of a fear itself. The fear to harm, that, oh, I'll be harming others, I'll be killing others. That kind of a fear, that inherent fear. Though he's such a fearless person, there is sadness, fear, confusion, all kinds of problems. And Arjuna says, I am now completely affected by this helplessness. And Arjuna calls it what? He calls it kārpaṇya. Kārpaṇya means what? Helplessness. Hey Krishna, I am helpless. I do not know what to do. My buddhi is completely covered. My buddhi is not working. My brain is not working here. What I should do, what I should not do, I know. And hey Krishna, you know what is right, what is wrong. Because you are not only my Sarathi, you are my well-wisher, you are my friend, you are my savior, and now you have to become my teacher. Okay? You have to become my teacher. Because only you can help me. You can help me to come out of this situation. So what does Arjuna say? śhiṣhyaste shādhi-māṁ tvaṁ prapannam. Hey Krishna, I surrender to you. Please teach me. Please tell me what is the right thing for me to do. How I should conduct myself. How should I go about doing my duties? What is the right way, correct way of doing my duties? What I am doing now, is it right or is it wrong? What I am now about to do, because of it so many people will be killed. Is it dharma or is it adharma? I don't know. I am confused. Am I doing the right thing by fighting Krishna? I don't know. So when I don't know what I am doing and when I am so confused, only you can become, because you are Bhagavan, only you can teach me. You can lift me out of this. Therefore, what should I do? I should surrender to you and I will become your Shishya. What is the meaning of Shishya? I am willing to learn from you. Okay. So, when a person surrenders to the teacher, then only you can learn. Isn't it? If you don't surrender to the teacher, you cannot learn anything. Whatever the teacher is giving you, it comes only when you are showing your, what is that? You have to show your willingness to learn. Correct? You have to be willing to be a student. You have to be willing to learn. You have to ask for this knowledge. Correct? Help me, he asked. And how did he say help me? He said, please teach me. Tell me what is good for me. He said, I don't know what to do. You become my guru, hey Krishna. I will surrender to you. I will fall at your feet. Please teach me. Please tell me what I should do. Teach me how I should go about this. What is good for me? I do not know. Teach me what is the best for me. Tell me how I can come out of this confusion of mine and do the right thing. How I can come out of this sorrow. Why am I feeling so sorrowful? What is the reason for this sadness in me? Why this sadness and confusion is not allowing me to do my work? Hey Krishna, only you can answer all these questions. Only you can solve my problems. Therefore, hey Krishna, what am I going to do? I'm going to surrender to you. And surrender how? With love and bhakti, unconditionally, no doubts. I have no doubt that you are going to help me. Therefore, with bhakti, I am going to surrender to you. Like how we all have all these days surrendered to our teachers, our gurus, isn't it? You have all surrendered to Swami so that you are helped in every way, correct? Education wise also, and in helping you to develop your personality also. In every way, you are surrendered to Swami, isn't it? And that is why Swami is able to help you. So, a teacher can help a student when you surrender to the teacher, then only a teacher can teach you. A teacher can help you, especially in a knowledge like this, which Krishna is going to teach Arjuna, the knowledge of the scriptures, the greatest knowledge. This kind of a knowledge, don't worry, we are not going to go into a lot of details on this. Very, very simply, very, very, in a nice way, we will learn what Arjuna was taught by Krishna in the coming further chapters. So now, what happened at present? So Arjuna surrendered. He forgot at that moment. What did he forget? That he was fighting a war. Now he did not care what happened. He wanted to learn. He wanted to know what is the right thing, what is not the right thing, how to go about, how to do my duty, what is my dharma, how should I do my duty. Okay, what is the, why am I feeling so sad? All these things he wanted to know. That's why he said, Krishna, please tell me about all these things and teach me. And then what did he do? evam-uktvā rishikesham gudakeshah parantapa nayotsya iti govindam uktvā tushnim babhuvaha. In the 9th verse, Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra, as reporting everything to Dhritarashtra, he is saying, this is what Arjuna said to Krishna. Arjuna spoke like this to Krishna, and then Arjuna kept quiet. He showed his willingness, he showed his surrender to Krishna, and then what did he do? He kept quiet. Tushnim babhuva. And then what happened then? Before Krishna started teaching, it seems Lord Krishna smiled. Why did he smile? Not because he was laughing at Arjuna, but then he smiled because he was happy that Arjuna has become a student. Arjuna is willing to learn, and that I can teach my best friend Arjuna how to deal with such situations in life. I can teach. So it seems Krishna was very happy, not because of the suffering of Arjuna, but he was happy because Arjuna surrendered to him. And then what did he do? In the 10th verse he says, Tamuvacha rishikeshaha prahasanniva bharata senayorubhayor madhye viṣhīdantamidam vachaha. And then what did Krishna do? Then Krishna smiled at Arjuna. First thing, no? If you want to be taught by your teacher, how do you like your teacher to be? You want your teacher to be smiling, isn't it? Huh? So how does your teacher start the lessons? He doesn't start like this, with a firm face, no? He starts how? He smiles. Hello, children. Good morning, children. Welcome to the class. He'll say, smile. Correct? Prahasan diva. Therefore, Krishna is showing that I am happy, with a happy smile on his face now. Krishna, in the middle of the battlefield, between the two senas, smilingly now, Krishna starts teaching Arjuna. And what Krishna started teaching, that comes from the next verse, the 11th verse of Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagavan Uvacha starts. I told you, know what is Bhagavan? Krishna started teaching. But here in Bhagavad Gita, nowhere you find Krishna Uvacha. We find Sanjaya Uvacha, we find Dhritarashtra Uvacha, we find Arjuna Uvacha, correct? But nowhere we find Sri Krishna Uvacha. What do we find? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Here, Krishna is considered to be God Himself with all the glories in Him. Therefore, Bhagavan starts speaking. In the entire Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is represented as God, as Ishvara, as Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavan spoke. So, who is the teacher here? God, Bhagavan Himself is the teacher. And who is the Shishya here? Arjuna, a common man like us, is the teacher. And through Arjuna, what happens? We also are like Arjunas. And Bhagavan became a Jagat Guru through Arjuna. Bhagavan is called Jagat Guru. Why? Via Arjuna. We are all like Arjunas, always confused, always not knowing what to do, always feeling sad about everything. So whatever Krishna taught Arjuna there, as a Jagat Guru, he has taught all of us. We are all Arjunas. Whereas God, as Bhagavan, came as Sri Krishna and taught. What is it that Bhagavan taught? That we will see from tomorrow. Okay, very, very simple way how and what Bhagavan taught Arjuna, we will see from tomorrow. Another 2 or 3 sessions, I'll just introduce you the second chapter very, very, very briefly. What and how Krishna started, Bhagavan started teaching Arjuna. So henceforth, we'll also call Lord Krishna as what? Bhagavan. Because Krishna is God. So we are going to call him Bhagavan. So with this today, we will stop. So what did we see today? We only stopped. We started where we had stopped, correct? First chapter, what was the state of Arjuna's mind we saw. Then how Krishna became his motivator and tried to literally motivate him and gave him confidence. But when that confidence did not work, and when Arjuna realized his helplessness, he surrendered to Bhagavan and became his Shishya. So now Lord Krishna became the teacher, the Guru. First he was a friend, then he became a Sarathi, then he became a motivator, and now for the rest of Bhagavad Gita, who is Lord Krishna? He is Bhagavan, the teacher of Arjuna and the teacher of all of us. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.